You are standing one block from the Louvre, one block from some of the most visited real estate on the planet. Tourists everywhere, tour buses, selfie sticks, and tucked right there on a quiet street that runs parallel to all of it is a hotel so discreet, so carefully designed, and so genuinely luxurious that most people in the travel industry have still never stepped inside it. That hotel is what we are talking about today. Here is something worth thinking about. Paris is one of the most documented cities in human history. There are more photographs of Paris, more travel articles about Paris, more hotel reviews about Paris than almost any other destination on Earth. And yet, despite all of that coverage, all of that content, all of those recommendations, the truly special places in this city remain almost invisible to the average traveler, not because they are hard to find, but because they are not trying to be found. Roch Hotel Spa is exactly that kind of place. It sits on Rue Saint-Roch in the 1st arrondissement, one of the most central locations in all of Paris. The Louvre is around the corner. The Tuileries Garden is a 2-minute walk. The Place Vendôme, with its jewelry houses and historic column, is practically next door. And yet Roch operates in a kind of elegant silence. No grand entrance making a statement to the street. No rooftop bar packed with influencers chasing content. Just 37 beautifully designed rooms, one of the finest hotel spas in the city, and an atmosphere that manages to feel both deeply Parisian and completely removed from the noise of tourist Paris at the same time. Today, we are going inside. We are going to cover the design, the spa, the experience, and the one thing about Roch that quietly separates it from everything else in this neighborhood. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why the guests who discover this hotel keep coming back, and why they almost never tell anyone else about it. We have been finding hotels like this for years, properties that sit in the shadow of famous landmarks and somehow remain unknown, places that could fill their rooms entirely on reputation alone, but choose to stay quiet anyway. Roch is one of those rare properties that came up again and again in conversations with people who travel at a serious level, and every single time, the reaction was the same: disbelief that more people had not heard of it. Once you see what is inside, you will have that exact same reaction. Here's the plan. We start with the location and why it matters more than it might seem. Then we go into the design of the hotel, who created it, and what makes it visually extraordinary. After that, we cover the spa, which is a story all on its own. Then we talk about what the full guest experience actually feels like. And right at the end, I am going to share the one insight about Roch that nobody puts in the reviews, but that every repeat guest quietly understands. Let's go. Let us start with location, because the location of Roch is both its greatest advantage and the main reason most travelers have never encountered it. Rue Saint-Roch is not a famous street. It does not appear on most tourist maps. It does not have a landmark attached to its name. It is simply a clean, quiet, elegantly proportioned street in the 1st arrondissement, the kind of street that Parisians walk down every day without thinking twice about it. But look at what surrounds it. The Louvre Museum is less than 5 minutes away on foot. The Palais Royal is around the corner. The Tuileries Garden, one of the most beautiful formal gardens in Europe, is a short stroll in one direction. The Opéra Garnier is a short stroll in another. The Place Vendôme, home to Cartier, Van Cleef, and Arpels, and the original Ritz Paris, is practically neighboring. This is, by any measure, one of the most extraordinary locations in one of the world's great cities. And Roch sits right in the middle of it, quietly, without announcement, behind a facade that gives almost nothing away. That tension between where it is and how invisible it manages to be is the first thing that makes this hotel genuinely interesting. And it only gets more interesting from here. The interior of Roch was designed by Sarah Lavoine, one of the most respected interior designers working in France today. And her approach to this project was very specific. She was not trying to recreate classic Parisian grandeur. She was not interested in gilded ceilings and velvet drapes and the kind of heavy historicism that you find in many of the city's older luxury hotels. What she created instead is something much more interesting. A vision of Paris as it feels right now. Contemporary, refined, and deeply confident, but with constant quiet references to the city's artistic and cultural heritage woven through every detail. The color palette throughout the hotel is rich but never loud. Deep blues, warm terracottas, soft greens, and natural materials that feel genuinely considered rather than assembled by committee. The furniture is a mix of custom pieces and carefully sourced vintage finds. The lighting is warm throughout, amber and intimate in a way that makes every space feel like it is permanently set to the right hour of the evening. The 37 rooms and suites each feel like a private apartment rather than a hotel room. There is real storage space. There are proper desks. The bathrooms are generous. The beds are the kind that make getting up feel genuinely difficult. It is the difference between a room that has been designed to look good in photographs and a room that has been designed to actually live in. Le Roch very clearly was designed to live in, and here is the detail that guests consistently mention when they describe the interior. There is art everywhere, not the kind of anonymous prints that hotels use to fill wall space. Real, considered artwork. Pieces that have been chosen because they belong in these rooms, in this building, in this vision of what a Parisian interior should feel like in the 21st century. You find yourself noticing new things on the second day that you completely missed on the first. This is the part of Le Roch that genuinely surprises people, because when you think of a 37-room boutique hotel, even a very good one, you do not necessarily expect a spa that competes with the finest standalone wellness facilities in the city. And yet, that is exactly what is here. The Le Roch Spa is located in the lower level of the hotel, and it is a serious, fully realized space. We are talking about a hammam, a sauna, a heated indoor pool, treatment rooms offering a full menu of body and facial treatments, and a fitness area that is actually equipped properly, rather than being an afterthought with 2 treadmills and a set of dumbbells. The atmosphere down there is something else entirely. The street-level Paris, the noise, the movement, the pace, simply does not exist in that space. It is warm, dimly lit, and quiet in a way that feels almost acoustically engineered, which, it turns out, it largely is. The design of the spa was treated with the same level of intention as every other part of the hotel. The result is a place where an hour genuinely feels restorative in a way that very few hotel spa experiences manage to deliver. For guests staying in the first arrondissement, surrounded by one of the most stimulating and relentlessly busy neighborhoods in Europe, having access to that space is not a nice bonus. It is a genuine game changer. It is the reason many guests say they sleep better at Le Roch than anywhere else in the city. Let me ask you something here, and I want to see the answers below. When you are choosing a luxury hotel in a city like Paris, how much does the spa matter to you? Is it something you actively seek out? Or is it a nice extra that you use once and forget about? Because I think the answer to that question genuinely divides travelers into 2 very different camps. And Le Roch is a hotel that will mean very different things to each of those camps. Drop your answer in the comments. Let's see where this community stands. Here is what I promised you, the thing nobody puts in the reviews. Le Roch Hotel and Spa sits in one of the most touristed square kilometers on the planet. You cannot walk out of the front door without being reminded that you are in one of the most visited cities in the world. The crowds are real. The noise is real. The relentless visual and sensory stimulation of central Paris is absolutely real. Most hotels in this neighborhood are part of that energy. They absorb it, reflect it, amplify it. Their lobbies are full. Their bars are busy. Their staff are managing volume, even the great ones. Le Roch does the opposite, completely and deliberately. Every design decision in that building, the materials, the lighting, the scale of the spaces, the depth of the spa, the number of rooms, is oriented around a single goal: to give you a place to recover, not from travel, not from jet lag, but from Paris itself. This city is magnificent, and it is also relentless. It asks a lot of you. It demands your attention constantly, and the guests who return to Le Roch again and again, the ones who discovered it quietly and have never publicly recommended it because they do not want it to change. They come back because they have found something almost impossible to find in this location: a genuine retreat. A place that is in Paris but not of Paris, where the city is right outside the door and completely absent the moment you step inside. That is not a design feature, that is a philosophy, and it is one of the rarest things you will find in any hotel anywhere in the world. So here is everything in one place. Roch Hotel Spa is a 37-room luxury boutique hotel on Rue Saint-Roch in the 1st arrondissement of Paris. Steps from the Louvre, the Tuileries, and the Place Vendôme. The interiors were designed by Sarah Lavoine and represent one of the finest examples of contemporary Parisian design in any hotel currently operating in the city. The spa is genuinely world-class and completely unexpected at this scale. The service is personal and unhurried, and the entire property is built around the idea of giving you a private sanctuary in the middle of one of the most stimulating cities on earth. Remember, perfect location, extraordinary design, exceptional spa, and the rarest luxury of all, genuine quiet in the heart of Paris. If this is what you come here for, the hidden ones, the overlooked ones, the places that earn everything they have through quality rather than marketing, then subscribe right now. One hotel, one story, properties that most travelers never find. And leave a comment. Would you stay at Roch? Is the spa what sells it for you, or is it the location? Tell me below. I read everything. That is Roch, a hotel that figured out how to be invisible in one of the most visible cities in the world and turn that invisibility into the whole point. Next video, we are moving on from Paris, though honestly, Paris could keep us busy for months, and heading to a place that could not be more different. A hotel built on a private island off the coast of Croatia. No cars, no roads, just the Adriatic Sea, and one of the most beautifully restored medieval properties in southern Europe. That one is going to stay with you. Until then, find the quiet streets, go through the unmarked doors. The best places are always just slightly out of frame.